quite absurd. I've been presented with these four words that I'm now become accustomed to. What do you do? Today is a special day. The first ETP Studios Town Hall, and it's a special one in East London after 2 years in Canary Wharf. I've got observations, I've got thoughts, I've got burning questions. Tap in. So you may be wondering, where did the idea for burning questions come from? It was just one of those days where nothing was making sense. People weren't nodding back at me. People weren't moving out my way. The office just felt like Black Mirror, and I just thought this can't be normal. So I started writing down the questions, and with time, I felt like people could relate. So I had to bring it to the people and see what they had to say. Connect the dots.
To introduce the first discussion of burning questions in this course. So, have a seat, let's go.
I think that's what
that ends basically the last one.
Yeah,
and then
Q&A.
Yeah.
So we'll do a little break after the poems, then go into the Q&A. So we'll show the previous scheme.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, right, for the break, yeah.
Then we'll do Q&A.
Yeah.
After Q&A.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the event tonight?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. You know, me and Ezra put a lot of thought and a lot of hard work into this, you know, getting everything ready. So I'm excited for the performance tonight. I think everyone's really going to enjoy it, take away a lot.
And how long has this been in the works for?
So Ezra reached out to me, I think around the start of September. And yeah, it's been going for a month now, and we've done a lot of back and forth, a lot of thinking, and just really happy to see how much it's progressed, and I just can't wait for everyone to see what we've cooked up, because it's amazing.
Any nerves?
No, not on mine, because I'm going to be behind the desk, you know, just manning the tech. But no, I'm good. I'm just excited for everyone to see it.
Tell me, how was it working with Ezra?
No, it's been great, honestly. Very smart, very wise guy. You know, he just reached out to me on this idea, and I clicked with it instantly. And we just been going from there. So I'm really glad, like, he reached out to me when we started this journey together. So I'm really happy to see how this whole thing pays off.
So tell me, who are you and how comes you're here tonight?
My name is Alban, and I am the Chief HR Officer at ETP Studios.
And how are you feeling for tonight?
Feeling good. It's been a long time coming, so I'm hoping it will come into fruition smoothly. It's been an enjoyable process, so
And what are your expectations for tonight?
lots of conversation, food for thought. Yeah, as a conversation with Ezra, so yeah, just see it played out on a big scale.
And how much confidence do you have in Ezra tonight?
Lots of
Hello everyone, we'd like to get started. So, without further ado, have the great pleasure of introducing the founder of ETP Studios, Ezra Olaya, for the first iteration of.
So if we move to the next slide, I want to establish a little context about why we're here today.
What are your expectations for tonight?
Just connection, links. My man is a man, so I feel today will be a good day to interact and get to know more.
Nice. And how are you feeling Ezra tonight? What are you expecting from him?
I'm expecting what he does best, connecting people together and
What are your expectations for tonight?
Just good vibes, good people, some wisdom and insight. Yeah, excited for it.
And tell me, how much confidence have you got in Ezra tonight?
10 out of 10.
My name is Daniel Olao and I'm here to support my brother Ezra.
And what are your expectations for tonight?
Wisdom, skill, talent, and joy.
And how much confidence have you on Ezra tonight?
Confidence?
Yeah.
100%.
Hello?
You guys should respond now.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming. Welcome. Welcome to the first edition of Burning Questions. I have the great pleasure of introducing our host, the founder and CEO of ETP Studios, Mr. Ezra Olaya.
Thank you. How's everyone feeling tonight, first of all? How's everyone feeling tonight, first of all? One more time, so I'll make sure you're alive. How's everyone feeling tonight? Okay, we'll get there. Well, first of all, I just want to say a massive thank you. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah. Okay. I'm incredibly grateful, as per the previous song. It's just beautiful to see so many faces from different parts of my life. Hello. And this project is an idea that just sparked to mind one fateful day in Canary Wharf, and to see people here to share that with me is really special. So I think just to lay the context, it's important for us to do some setting of the scene. So if you go to the next slide, please, Sam. Some people here might not be familiar with what ETP is, who ETP is, what ETP Studios is. So I will share a bit of the lore that I've detailed to some of you. So established 2020, you all know what happened in 2020. It was a lot of things. But I think, like many people, it was a time of trials for me, but it was also a time of great rediscovery. And for context, I was in hospital, I was quite unwell. And one of the things I was doing to get me through that period was writing a lot of poetry. So I was like, oh, I kind of like this poetry thing. Maybe I should call myself Ezra the Poet. And I was like, hey, George the Poet's already got that. I don't like copying people's steeds, or let me do my own one. Then I was like, cool, let me just jazz it up a little bit and make it ETP. And as God would have it, ETP started to mean lots of different things across time. So I used to perform a lot in school. I was like, oh, Ezra the Performer. And then people started calling me the plug if they needed stuff. That's legal. And I was like, oh, Ezra the Plug. And it just started to mean a lot of different things in that sense. I could go on, and I went to look into what my name means. Ezra's a book in the Bible. So he was also a priest. And there's literally a verse in Ezra that says Ezra the priest. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's meant to be. But I think beyond myself, I believe the core of ETP is everyone's the plug. Not just me, everyone. And I think when you think about that metaphor, everyone can be a source of energy. I learned so much from speaking to random strangers. Your grandmother will tell you something that you think, when I was younger, I didn't think my grandmother knew a lot. But then you get older and you're like, wow, this lady knows so much. You speak to a stranger on the street and you think, I don't know that much. But everyone's a source of inspiration, everyone's a source of energy. And it's just really interesting to see how can we see the things that unite us, that bring us together, because I believe that we can take universal principles from specific contexts, and that's what connecting the dots is all about. Yeah, so a bit of context about this presentation today. So, as some of you may know, as founder of ETP Studios, I've been on secondment in Canary Wharf for the past 2 years. So it's been an eye-opening experience. I've learned a lot. And I wanted to share some of the observations with you today. So I don't want to be kind of boring and say the typical things you might expect. So I wanted to tease out some key things that you might not hear otherwise. So the first point is the importance of coffee chats. So for those of you who are not aware, coffee chats are a currency, especially in the corporate world. If you want to meet someone, you can't just meet them normally. There has to be coffee. So you have to go to a cafe, whether it's Pret, whatever it is. Coffee is the key. And that also kind of links to how to be a good corporate citizen. So I find the phrase corporate citizen a bit strange when I heard it the first time. But I guess maybe the corporation is like a nation, and then we're all citizens, and we have our duty to play. And I think one of the things I struggled with a corporate citizen was you don't just be like, oh, interested. No, you're helping them with that task. That is very key. And the final point, which kind of links to something I said today, packaging is king. So as I said, you can say gist is gist, or you can say it's all history. One sounds very academic, one sounds like gossip. And then in a corporate context, you don't just say, oh, I printed off the slides for the meeting. No, you can't do that. You say, I oversaw the logistics for the delivery of key materials. So I've been talking a lot at you. Based on the things we discussed, I want to encourage you guys to speak to a neighbor. Discuss what it takes to succeed in your line of work. So everyone here has very different professions, different experiences. What is it? What are the key things that make you do well? What are the key things that may help you succeed? And yeah, as I said before, don't forget to add your stickiness. We'll be back to the topic. Question bursting at the seams of childhood hopes and dreams. The world was my oyster, and the innocence of youth meant there were no limits to my thinking. Yet the power of conditioning meant that most of us dreamt of winning a Premier League or a World Cup. And even when I gave up on footballing ambitions, my imagination continued to run wild with ideas of who I'd be. That far away land of older. Some days I envisioned myself on the big screen and stage, reciting my lines like I did in the school plays. At other times I was more focused on the political, imagining myself as a diplomat, doing the typical schmoozing and speeches, but actually helping my nation. There were many iterations of my aspirations. But through them all, I was just excited for that fatal sound of older. I had bought into the idea that the streets of Oldham would be paved with gold, and everything would be wonderfully sublime. What I didn't imagine is that I'd be on the Jubilee line at 8:45, racing to get into the office on time. Aspiration seemed to be replaced by pragmatism, because there was money to be made, because there were bills to be paid. What's a dream? The reality demands a wage. So there I was every day logging in, but mentally checked out, having to remind myself of who I am, in space which didn't understand. The irony was that my dreams were what kept me awake through the reality. It seemed like the taste of order was not what I had expected. So I thought, why can't I get into the kitchen and make what I want? I know the ingredients: compelling stories, good company, integrity. I don't need to climb the corporate ladder to reach my peak. And I embrace the values because I know my destiny. My thinking isn't linear, nor is my path, so why must I conform? You see, one thing I realized about the land of older is that safety can be a temptation that dims the light of potential. And this little light of mine has to shine. At the very least, I have to be able to say, I tried. So I can look at younger me and say, when you got older, you were doing just fine. Thank you. So the next burning question is, why couldn't I score that in the email? So, dear sender, you put 30 minutes in my diary today. I spent 30 seconds struggling to put my headphones over my afro. I sat through 2 minutes of awkward small talk. I waited through 3 minutes of silence and endured 10 minutes of what was frankly awful. Look, they say that time is money, and to be frank, you're wasting mine. Because that's time I can never get back. could I kindly encourage you to consider putting the information into an email or a Teams message as opposed to a call? I'm sure that would be appreciated by all. Best, Ezra. See how quick that was? So, this next piece is more about the setting where my secondment happened. How many people have been to Canary Wharf before? Any thoughts? When you say Canary Wharf, what comes to mind? Oh, I know. What was that?
It's a maze. I feel like a rat going through those. What is that? Is it
exactly. What is it?
What exactly is it?
I don't know what it is.
It is so hot down there as well.
And I think you touched on the point that I wanted to make with this piece, which is the absurdity of the place that is Canary Wharf. And if you can go to the next slide, please, bro. Why are there 7 pets in Canary Wharf and only 1 bookshop, might I add? So, there are 7 pret a manger's, 2 farmages, and 2 blank streets in Canary. How greedy. How many mochas, matchas, and portions of mac and cheese do we really need? Oh, Ezra, it's not greed. They're just doing what they can to feed the hungry bankers. Isn't it ironic that in the city financial hub, success closely resembles excess? You can't tell me that the invisible hand of the free market dictates that what we need is more prets. Lest you forget, the food's not exactly the best, but the illusion of choice can leave you stressed, and you end up stuck with what you know better than the rest. And while we discuss what we feed our body, I find it rather concerning how few resources there are to feed our minds. When I realized this, I had to stop. Because in and amongst Range Rovers and Rolexes, there is only 1 bookshop. Bookshop is generous, it's more of like a news agent. And I just thought, you mean we go to university, hit the books, get a degree, only to get to a place which seems to consider all that reading asinine, prioritizing instead the bottom line. But am I surprised? It seems to me that Canary is in the business of gluttony. Endless options for consumption, minimal options for nourishment. It's a punishment wrapped with a ribbon, opulence containing warning signs. I guess you could say that the canary is in the gold mine. Thank you. It's not funny. Okay. Nobody told me, yet I learned early, that as I approach a brother, we acknowledge each other with a nod. A nod that affirms the fact that I see you through the big smoke and the madness. Momentarily crossing our paths become consistent reminders that I got you. Despite the agendas and divisions, I dare your back. You see, when navigating Babylon while black, the nod is an affirmation. In a nation that seems to remind us that we're not from here. A nation that treats us like we're to be feared. The nod symbolizes solidarity. That if we're all to kick off, we join forces in defense or attack. Why then don't the black men in Canary Wharf nod back? Is it because you think you're Gilet, Farmer J's and handsome pay, and you've got nothing to say to your brother? Have the high rises of Campus Square convinced you that you're above showing love to your brother? Or is it that the virus of neoliberalism's hyper-individualism has infected the rhythm of your heart? Listen. No matter how much you earn, dollars, euros, or pounds, no matter what car you drive around, look, it doesn't even matter if your account has 10,000 racks, because the world will always remind you in turn that you're black. So it'll be good for you to remember first. Thank you.
Do you want to just start off really quickly just to see how it sounds? Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a million ways to get paid in life. There's a million ways to get by, alright. There's a million ways to save face tonight. There's a million ways, yeah. So tell me this, I ain't felt this type of disarray since I was a kid. I've got 7 different ways of going legit. Life of a polymath, and another distraction. Boy, trying to make it out and do the rounds, it is what it is. I trade my Zubi for Sule. We're searching for North. You'll find me at the end of the tunnel. You'll find me at the end. There's a million ways to get paid in life. There's a million ways to get right. There's a million ways to save face tonight. There's a million ways. A million ways. Over to my spaces this evening. Auntie's running straight through the village. She said it will nurture her children. She said London's more like the wilderness. I trade my Zubi for Sule. We're searching for the Lord. You'll find me at the end of the tunnel. You'll find me at the end of the tunnel. You'll find me at the end. Cliche, we get the beamers from the Benzes. Millions of soldiers and millions of trenches. You cancel our community and capture all our brethren. Oh yes, there's brutalism on the streets. It's brutal on the estate. Oh, we're running through our every. The hamsters wheeling on the cage. I trade my Zubi for Sule. We're searching for the Lord. You'll find me at the end of the tunnel. You'll find me at the end of the tunnel. You'll find me at the end. There's a million ways to get paid in life. There's a million ways to get by, alright. There's a million ways to say after me. There's a million ways. Oh, there's a million ways to get by, right? Rah. There's a million ways to save face tonight. There's a million ways. There's a million ways. There's a million ways to get paid in life. There's a million ways to get by, right? There's a million ways to save face tonight. There's a million ways. There's a million ways.
You guys have incredible voices. Thank you so much. My name is Sule, this is Game with Deji. Back to Prezi, thank you very much.
There's another round of applause for this fantastic student. That's one of my favourite songs by Sitting Man. Beautiful, beautiful. I'll give you guys around 10 minutes just to
switch to the blazer.
Thought no difference. Yeah, I'll give you guys 5-10 minutes to talk amongst yourself, get drinks, and we'll start around 9 o'clock for the second half of the performance. Hope you guys are having a good time so far. When I say burning, you say questions. Burning. Burning. Thank you. I feel like a school teacher. Thank you very much. It's really beautiful to see everyone here. And I'm very overjoyed and I feel very grateful. And yeah, we're going to move on to the second half of the poems. These poems are a bit more broader than specifically the Canary Wharf context, but are things which have been amplified by my observational experience in Canary Wharf. So, this next one, I don't think it's controversial, but it's just something that's quite frustrating. I feel like certain people don't know how to negotiate space, physically and literally, in a way that's considerate for others. And that's why this next poem is going to explore that. And I'm going to ask for some interaction from you guys. So when I point to you, you'll say move out the way. So we're going to rehearse that. If I'm walking towards you,
move out the way.
Don't stay in my lane.
Move out the way.
Get out of my face.
Move out the way.
Excellent. So, without further ado, the next poem, please, Sam. Why did my Would you move out the way if you were taught that the world revolves around you? It's like a desire to dictate what others should do. But you don't need to go around, you can just walk through. It's a mindset that breeds inertia. Pride leads to a lack of motion. So even in the midst of commotion, you're rooted to your spot. You're not a tree, you can move. Or the fruits of your attitude are rotten. It's like you've forgotten how to use your legs. So you just stay there. But why do I have to accommodate your decision to stay in the same position? Listen, I'm no longer accepting the mission of avoiding human obstacles. So when you see me approaching,
move out the way.
There's plenty of space, stop encroaching.
Move out the way.
I won't apologize if I bump into you.
Move out the way.
I will no longer revolve around you, because I am the sun. Thank you.
Too ego.
This next piece is not just in the corporate context, but it's also very applicable in spaces like this, or into quote-unquote creative spaces. I say quote-unquote because I have rights to that creative tag label, but that's a conversation for another day. It's just, I love people, I love everyone here, but sometimes people can be strange when you meet them for the first time. I like getting to know people through conversations I've spoken about before. But there's a weird thing that happens, and Sam, if you go to the next slide, people ask what you do before they ask your name. And for me, it raises some questions I want to explore now. So here we go. Being raised in a Nigerian household, I was always taught to greet the people I meet as a sign of respect. Good evening, sir. Nice to meet you, ma'am. This was basic manners, or so I thought. Until I realized we weren't all taught from the same curriculum. I'd enter spaces, meet new faces, and experience something quite absurd. I'd be presented with these four words that have now become accustomed to. What do you do? These are words that I found carry immense weight. And it may sound innocent, but to me it's kind of insane. They've asked what I do before you even ask my name. No manners. Aside from being rude, I find myself confused that people choose to judge character by location or Instagram mutual verification over conversation. That question has left me in an awkward spot, and I think about it a lot. What do you do? Do I say what I do day to day? I'm a grad scheme. I rotate around the bank. Nah, no representative. Do I say I'm a writer? I write for magazines, I have a blog. More accurate, but not quite the full picture. Do I say, oh, I'm a DJ? I've got some mixes online and I do some events here and there. DJs don't exactly have the best PR, so I think I'll pass. The thing is, what I do is an extension of who I am. So for you to see it clearly, you should first try to understand me. Next time I'm asked what I do, I'll tell you I do my best. That's all that counts. Forget about the rest. Thank you. We're on to the final poem. Everyone say, aww. Great. This final one is a bit more existential. I think it's a nice way to wrap things up. And it's a question, I remember the day that really hit me. I woke up, like just in a normal work day, I just looked at the ceiling, and I just stayed there. And this question was in my head. And then it happened again. I was on the tube, some man's armpit was in my face, someone was elbowing me, people were giving me weird looks, and the same question came again. And the question came again when I was just in a meeting and people were making jokes, and jokes, and it just wasn't landing. And the question came to me again. So Sam, the question is, what am I doing here? Cool. Have you ever woken up and laid in your bed, looked at the ceiling and thought, God, I beg. It's a new day, so I give thanks. But do I have to do this again? Have you ever got to the end of a working day and thought, what's changed since I logged on in the morning and logged off in the evening? Who's benefiting from these hours spent sitting at this desk? Or have you ever heard a colleague make a comment so ignorant, so infuriating that you have to exercise all restraint to keep the wicked response in? My answer to these questions was clear. What am I doing here? Shackled by a salary that's meant to make me financially free, weighing up the fear of uncertainty, the pain of regret. I want stability. When God founded the earth on the waters, I look around and think, maybe I can build something solid on turbulent ground. Let's be real, the world doesn't need me here. There's too much talent to waste in operations. I realize there are more meaningful operations to mobilize. So my brain can't be trained in this pipeline when lives are on the line. My perspective has power that should not be undermined. You see, those giant buildings to me resemble mausoleums of my ambition. My dreams couldn't survive there. I have to get back on the mission. There were times I'd be on the Jubilee line, but there was no celebration. Just golden handcuffs holding me in place on the hamster wheel, or rather the rat race. I realized just because I can doesn't mean I should. I have to give it a go and see what's good. The least I can say that I tried. It's time to commit myself to a purpose that is higher. And I trust it's going to succeed. Because after all, God does it try. Thank you.
How would you define a fruitful career in your mind? What does that mean for you?
I want to do things that... I was speaking to someone recently and we're speaking about like art or any form of expression. Oh, it was this weekend. Things that move you. I want to make things that move people. I feel like there are a lot of things that we could... There's so much information, so much sonic, visual things that we take in that's just very mediocre. Not mediocre, but it doesn't have an impact on your thinking, doesn't have an impact on your emotions, it's just kind of there. So I think I really want to, with my writing, with anything I do, I really want to make people think. I think to make that a bit more concrete as well, a fruitful career will look like connecting people, connecting places and connecting ideas, and that will be through like any medium. I really am inspired by people like, I say all the time, Vince Staples, people like Solange, people who aren't like limited to one form of expression and who are able to like speak to specific instances, as I said before, and draw universal things to bring people together. And also like extension of that as well, I'm really invested in like, how do we as an African diaspora like speak to one another, and how can like connecting people, places and ideas, whether that's through music, through like food, through whatever, like how can we speak to each other in a way that's more conducive to a brighter future for us.
Yeah, my question is going to be related to your career. I'm in finance as well, and one of the difficulties, I would say, belonging, right? When you look at your counterparts, for instance, right, they can make mistakes, but yourself you can't make mistakes, right? And you always feel that the standard is quite higher for you compared to your counterpart. How do you navigate that? Because it can be quite draining, right? Going to work and knowing that the benchmark is not the same as it is for others.
I think for me, it's just being able to like advocate for myself was the most important thing in that regard, in the sense that people will try to hold you to a standard, but that standard is different from the standard that they even initially suggested for you. For me, it's like just being really transparent and setting up, okay, this is what is expected of me, so I know like if these are the benchmarks I should be hitting, either I can say in my review, look, everything that you said, I've done, or I've done above. So there's just that transparency, because people like to move the goalposts. So I think that's what's helped me. And transparently, there are times where I was like, listen, you might think I'm doing what I need to do. All the deliverables are done, and I'm not going to have to like stress myself and do more than you're asking of me. That was just me. Especially as I was leaving, I was like, cool, let me do what I need to do and make sure everything else is making sense. I hope that answers the question.
Like a creative necessarily, and you also mentioned, not just asking like what do you do, like who you are. How can we introduce ourselves in a way that's not just like what we do? Like, what's your advice for that without sounding too broad? Because it's like, whatever. It can be so broad, but what's your advice on that?
I'm going to try. I'll speak to what I don't like the creative title, and then I'll speak to what you did the second part first. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking people what you do. Like, that's fine. I think it's just, you know, when you just met someone and it's like, oh, hi, what do you do? Like, that's just what's a bit mad to me. Because it's like, I think it's that knowing, like, having an understanding of the intention behind the question. Because sometimes people are asking what do you do so they can know, so they can think they know how much value to place on you, or whether you're worth speaking to.
Any other questions?
Are you happy?
I'm happy. That's so funny. I'm very happy. Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. If 18-year-old me could see me now, bro, I think this guy is lit. Like, I've got a wonderful life. Like, bro, I'm doing this right now. Like, it's one of like people have taken a Tuesday, not even a Thursday, fam. It's a Tuesday, and people are out here like being able to perform poetry. My girlfriend is moderating. My brother is here. My cousin has performed. Like, this is just like, bro, you can't really ask for much more. Yeah, I think that's cool. I think we should move on.
Well, a few things. Is there anything you're going to miss about Canary Wharf?
Wow. Is there anything I want to miss?
There's got to be something.
Yeah. What am I going to miss about Canary Wharf? Well, not Canary Wharf per se. I'm going to miss the people, the wonderful people that I met at JBB. And again, that's what I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's any experience that's wasted in life. So there's so many people I wouldn't have met, or may not have met when I met. So I'm really grateful for that. And I won't miss per se, but I think I appreciated the fire that it burned and lit in me to kind of try to work toward making my dreams. So yeah.
Great answer. On that note, I've got the question. Some others have also got the same question. What is next to do for ETP students for now that you are?
To be fair, I've been saying this a lot. I don't know. That's the short answer. I don't know. I've been saying things like I don't know what the next month holds for me. I don't know. But I think while that was a source of frustration for me, I think it was. I think it's becoming something that gives me some sort of solace in the sense that I don't have to think about tomorrow. And I don't think about next week in the sense of like obsessing over it. I think it's beauty just like taking each day to come. So each day has its own adventure. I started this morning and I ended it here. That was its own ambition to accomplish. I want to wake up tomorrow as the next day. But more concretely, what is next? I know I'm just going to keep doing things I love. I'm going to keep writing. Got some writing.
How did you find today?
I thought today was great. I have never been to an event like this where it was kind of centered around poetry, also like kind of like corporate in its setting because it was like a PowerPoint presentation. So yeah, it was so unique. And shout out to Ezra because obviously it's all from his mind. And yeah, shout out to Ezra, man.
What do I want people to take away from this? Burning questions, obviously, but to go further on that, what I want them to take away is just to really just take a second to think and question a lot of things, you know, where you are right now, what you're doing, your place in life, and just see what answers go there, you know. It doesn't have to be straight away, but just think about it and really question what's happening right now.
What does it mean to you to be a part of this?
I'm very, very glad. I'm happy. I'm also very, very appreciative to bear witness to Ezra's growth. I think it's amazing to see how far he's travelled throughout the experience of not only just uni, but then to doing the corporate role as well, but then also in his writing and see him flourish as a person.
How do you want people to feel after this, and what do you expect them to get from this?
To have more burning questions, I guess. I think it's very, very important to understand and question your reality, but not in a sense where you're always questioning every single thing that you see and looking for meaning, but more so in a place where you question because you desire to learn more and be more and do more, and with purpose and intention. Did anyone realise that? Like, man came out looking different. He said
Let me show you I'm ready.
As I said, first half, second half.
I hear it.
Yeah.
Prezi.
Come on, bro.
Prezi. I'm surprised that wasn't one of the nicknames up there. I don't know. I was like, Prezi. How you feeling?
I'm hungry, but I'm blessed. I'm happy. Like, it's just nice, like, to see something go from here.
Did it like go better than you thought? Or is it like
it's just what I wanted. Like, it's what I wanted. Like, people were talking. I like when I do things and like different people from different parts of my life are talking. So I just look at it. Oh, they've never met before, and now they're speaking. I like the fact that obviously it's from my experience, but I didn't want it to be just about me to get. So it's like, even though I'm talking about my experience, it's both to different people's experiences as well. I'm grateful to God though, like, just keep doing it. I'm looking forward to the videos as well. So I think it's one thing to do it, but then another thing is like, how do you tell that story, narrative thing. So, bro, it's like the way everything came together, everything worked out. Glad. So, bro, it's a Tuesday. People don't go out on Tuesday. So
they do for you.
Yeah, exactly.
They do for you.
Tiff, are you off? Okay. Get Tiff in the camera. Get Tiff in the camera.
Love, come on, that's right.
What do you have to say to the camera, Tiff?
Listen, this guy is one-on-one. Amazing. Get to know if you don't know. Get to know.
Hey, man. I paid this guy £200. I feel great. Like, I think the word that keeps coming to mind is gratitude. I'm grateful that people came down to the show. I'm grateful that the poems and everything resonated. I'm just grateful that I had the opportunity to do such a thing. So, yeah, man, I'm glad.
And I want you to think of yourself in 10 years' time. Who do you think you're going to be, and what would you say to yourself as you now to yourself in 10 years?
That's a good question. 10 years' time, who do I think I'll be? I think I'll be doing similar things that I'm doing now, but just at a much higher level by God's grace. I want to keep telling stories, but like through writing, through other mediums, film, music, theatre, and I just want to keep connecting people through those mediums and otherwise as well. What would I say to that person? I would say to them, I'm glad that you kept going, and I hope that you feel proud of yourself and how far you've come.
What are you most grateful for?
As of today, they're just in life in general, about the event. Life in general, I'm just grateful to be alive, man. I'm grateful that I can do these type of things, man. It's not something to take for granted, that to be able to try such a thing, to be able to like, have loved ones in a room. Some people like can't even, the basics of life aren't accessible to them, so I have to give thanks. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be alive, the opportunity to try, and the opportunity to be loved by the people I care about. So yeah, man.
And any closing words for today, how you're feeling, this little video I'm making for you, any closing words?
Closing words. I'm just grateful, man. As that picture said, no one gets to great on their own, and it's been wonderful collaborating with you guys, Sam, Halima, my girlfriend, everyone that's been involved. It's been really, really special, and I think the closing thought would be, if you can think it, you can do it. So thinking is the first, imagining, dreaming is the first step, and then make it happen and keep bringing people together. Yeah, man, it's all possible. Thank you.